Are you thinking of moving to Prosper, Texas? Well, in this video, I want to share with you the pros and cons of living in Prosper, Texas, coming right up. If this is your first time to this channel and you want to know everything about Dallas, Texas, then make sure to subscribe below, click the bell notification so the first note of the market update in Dallas, Texas. My name is Daniel. I'm a realtor and a loan officer. And if you're thinking of moving in a few weeks, a few months, or a year down the line, feel free to call, text, email, whatever you prefer. I'm happy to help you move to Dallas, Texas. So maybe you're moving from out of state or out of country and you want to know more about Prosper, Texas. Well, I want to share with you the pros and cons of living in Prosper, Texas. The number one pro of living in Prosper is the school district. Prosper ISD is very well known and very well respected. Academically ranked really high. Very well educated students go to Prosper ISD, and families who want to really send their kids to a very well-educated school will move to Prosper literally because of the school district. Not just academically, but also the athletics department is very well known as well. So the sports in Prosper ISD is very competitive. And so parents will go because of either academically and or because of the athletics department. So if you have kids and you want to go to a really good school, then Prosper might be the city for you. If you don't have kids, then you may reconsider if you want to live in Prosper, but it's still a great place for people who want to retire because it's still a developing city. The second pro of living in Prosper has to do with the newer homes, because Prosper is a very newer city in comparison to the other cities that have already been established, such as Plano or Dallas or Carrollton and even Frisco. In comparison to those cities, Prosper has developed recently, and because it's developed recently, a lot of the houses are new. So a lot of people who recently moved to Prosper is because of the new builds, the new construction homes. And so they wanted to start from scratch. They wanted to purchase a lot and then just build their own house. So a lot of people have moved to Prosper because of the new homes. Now, there aren't as many new build construction homes as there used to be years ago, but there still, of course, are in Prosper. But even if you don't get a new construction home, you can still get a pre-existing home that's still fairly new, like 3 or 5 years old. And so that's a great reason why people want to move to Prosper. And getting a new home definitely saves in like the energy efficiency. And so that kind of helps. People are thinking about that when they purchase a home. So Prosper is a great city for people or family who want more of a newer type of home. And the third pro of living in Prosper, Texas has to do with the potential growth, the potential development. Prosper is still like I said, a newer city, a more new city compared to other suburbs, but it's still developing and there's still a lot more to develop. And so there's a lot of green space in the city of Prosper. The city of Prosper isn't too big when it comes to the land, but within the city of Prosper today, there's still a lot of greenery, which means that there's still a lot of potential for growth, potential for development. And so what this means is that house prices they can actually go higher from today as long as there's more development. So that potential for growth or potential for development means that your house price can definitely increase. It can definitely go up as years progress. So Prosper is a great city for families who love the school district, who love the newer type of modern homes, and also for those who see that there's potential growth or potential development in Prosper. So let's talk about the cons of Prosper, Texas. The very first con has to do with the location. Now, it depends on your commute from work. If you're working from home remotely, then obviously location isn't that important for you. So Prosper might be a great location. Or maybe your job is near Prosper. Maybe it's in Frisco, or maybe it's in Salina or McKinney, or just somewhere nearby, and you don't have to drive to, let's say, downtown Dallas every day or Flower Mound, wherever you're having to go. And so when it comes with the location of Prosper, depends again on your work. But of course, for Prosper ISD students, that's totally fine. But for parents who are working for a long commute, location might not be the greatest. Now, not just in terms of work, but also in terms of location of the DFW area. Of course, if we continue to expand and develop even more north of Prosper, like Salina, which we are continuing to develop, and it continues to develop more north, then Prosper will be a great location. But as of today, it's kind of north. It's pretty high up there in comparison to other cities. It's right next door to Frisco. So if Frisco is a place that you go often, then not a problem. Prosper is a great city for you to live in. But if you have to meet people or you like to hang out, let's say in downtown Dallas, or you go to the airport often, which is like a 45-minute drive from Prosper, then Prosper might not be the greatest city for you to live in. So it really depends on your situation, case by case, but generally speaking, Prosper location is not the greatest as we speak today. The second con of living in Prosper is that there's limited entertainment, limited things to do. There aren't too many things to do in Prosper because obviously Prosper, a city by itself, is rather and fairly small, and again, it hasn't developed much. So if you're in Prosper and you want to meet people, you want to hang out, then the gates of Prosper is where a lot of people go to. Of course, people in Prosper aren't going to like me because they're saying, oh, there's a lot of things to do. Yes, I understand there's a lot of things to do, but I'm talking about in comparison to other cities such as Frisco or the Colony or Plano or downtown Dallas. I'm talking about those kinds of other cities nearby. There aren't many things to do in Prosper. So if you are a person who always has to go be outdoors and you have to drive far, then of course, again, that location, and then there's those limited entertainment, limited things to do in the city of Prosper. But if again, you're wanting to hang out in Frisco, then there's a lot of things to do. So that's okay. Right in the north of Frisco, south of Prosper, where basically it's in Frisco, but it's south of Prosper. You have PGA Golf, PGA Frisco, that is. And then you also have Fields West that's going to be developing, and Universal Studios. So today, right now, Prosper, there aren't many things to do, but once Universal Studios develop, once, not Legacy West in Plano, but similar to Legacy West in Plano called Fields West, when that develops, then there's going to be a lot of things to do in Prosper. Not in the city of Prosper, but very close to Prosper. And the third con of living in Prosper, Texas has to do with high home prices. Now, you have to understand, because a lot of these homes are newer homes, new construction homes, of course, they're going to cost more money than pre-existing homes for the most part. And so because of that, house prices are going to be more expensive than other suburbs because a lot of these homes are fairly new. So you have to take that into consideration. If you want, of course, a newer home, you're going to have to pay more money versus a really old home, which is going to cost less. So you have that pro and con. The pro is you get a newer home, but the con is that house prices have gone up quite significantly in Prosper because of all that development that has happened, all that surge that has happened within the past number of years. So if you're okay with the house prices being rather high, then that's okay because you really want a newer home and you really want to live in Prosper ISD, then this may not be important for you. But if you're kind of on a tight budget, you don't want to spend too much money and location is an issue, then you may want to reconsider that aspect because Prosper is not that cheap. Now, I'm not saying it's like super expensive, but it still has gone up in terms of house prices, generally speaking. So what do I think about living in Prosper, Texas? I think Prosper, Texas is a great city. It's a great city because of the school district. If you have kids, I think it's a great district that a lot of people will just really love the school district, the Prosper ISD, and also because of the potential growth. Now, if your situation is you got to commute like 45 minutes one way every day, then I may not really advise on living in Prosper. But if that's not the case for you, then I think Prosper is a great city to live in. Very safe community, as I said. So it really depends on your situation. If you're working remotely from home, then I think Prosper is a great city, as long as you don't have to go to like downtown Dallas all the time or to the airport. So I think Prosper, Texas overall is a great city to live in. So there you go, pros and cons of Prosper, Texas. And if you're thinking of moving in a few weeks, a few months, or a year down the line, feel free to call, text, email, whatever you prefer. I'm happy to help you move to Dallas, Texas. And if you like this video, make sure to click that like button. If you haven't done so, make sure to subscribe below. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.